Hey guys, it's Shara from Woodshop Diaries, and today I'm going to show you how I made this accordion coat rack. So if you're ready to get building, let's go. With Christmas right around the corner, I've got seasonal decorating on the brain. So I originally designed this as a stocking hanger, but obviously it's a versatile piece. So you could use it as a stocking hanger, a coat hanger, a hat hanger, a dog leash hanger, whatever floats your boat. It's a super simple build that only requires some 1x2s, a 7/8 inch dowel, a drill. A driver also comes in handy but isn't required. Some drill bits, a few screws, a saw, and some wood glue. First, I cut down my 1x2 pieces to 4 16-inch pieces and 4 8 3/4 inch pieces. Then I laid them out on my workbench to get a visual of where I was headed with this project. I laid out 2 long and 2 short pieces on the bottom, then the other 2 long and 2 short pieces on top going perpendicular to the ones on the bottom. I separated the project into 2 sets of boards. Each quote-unquote set consists of 2 long and 2 short boards. I'll have the plans for this linked in the description below in case all of the numbers are too much for you right here in this video. I measured and marked 3/4 inch in from the end and 3/4 inch in from the edge, so centered, on the 1x2s in one set of boards. Then I marked the center of the long 1x2s in that same set. I was attaching everything in the end with 2.5 inch wood screws, so I found a drill bit just slightly larger than the screws I was using so that the screws would be able to fit through the hole once I drilled them. Then I drilled the holes on the marks that I made on the ends and the middle of the first set of boards. These holes should be just large enough to allow the screw to drop in like shown. These will be the back pieces on the rack once it's assembled. Then I measured and marked the same locations on the second set of boards and drilled a hole just smaller than the screw. So I was basically just pre-drilling these holes. But I ended up having to redo all of these later when I assembled it, so pre-drilling now isn't really necessary. Just measuring and marking at this point is sufficient enough. Next, I trimmed my dowel rod down to 10 pieces 3 inches long. You can leave these as is, but I spray painted them black because I really like the black and walnut combination on this project. Once the paint was dry, I applied wood glue and glued these onto the ends of the small hole boards and in the center of the long small hole boards like shown. These will be the pieces that will be on the top of the rack once it's assembled. So I glued the pegs in place where they will be going. After allowing the glue to dry completely, it was time to put it all together. I laid the rack out on my workbench. Then I screwed the rack together with 2.5 inch wood screws through the holes that I drilled earlier. Many of these holes didn't line up perfect, as you can see, so I ended up placing these boards so that the edges were flush and pre-drilled the small holes into the front boards where they should have been. So like I mentioned earlier, I pre-drilled those holes, but then I had to pre-drill all my holes at this point, so pre-drilling them prior was just kind of a waste of time. So once I had all my holes pre-drilled, I drove the screws. I drove the screws tight, then backed them out just enough so that it would still move a little. Since it was supposed to be an accordion rack, I wanted it to actually move. I continued along the rack, pre-drilling and driving the screws until I had the entire thing together. It made it easy to flip over occasionally to make sure I was attaching the right boards in the right places. I was also careful to drive the screws tight, then slightly back out each screw so that when I got it finished, it would move like an accordion. Once I was happy with the assembly, I finished it with beeswax. I quickly realized that it would have been 10 times easier to finish this before putting it all together, but at this point I wasn't about to take it apart, so I just powered through it. In order to hang this on the wall, I used a few of those teeth-looking wall hangers. I'm not really sure what they're called, but I installed these on the 2 outer top corners like shown. Also, the nails that come with these are tiny, and I always smash my fingers holding them to get them started with a hammer. So I found that using these needle nose pliers to hold the nail while you get it started can save your fingers and make this so much easier. That's just a helpful tip. Then I used a couple of nails in the wall to hang it. Because it's an accordion, I can adjust the width as needed and install wall anchors or adjust it to where it would hit a stud on both hangers. It fits perfect right here next to the front door and will be cute for stockings this Christmas and coats all winter long. And in the summer, I can swap it out for hats or umbrellas or whatever else I can find to hang here. So if you'd like to make one for yourself, I've got the step-by-step tutorial at the link in the description below if you'd like more details on this project. And if you've enjoyed this video, I'd love if you'd give it a thumbs up and let me know in the comments below. And if you aren't already subscribed to my channel, I would also love if you'd hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on what's coming next. Thanks so much for watching, you guys, and until next time, happy building.